Good evening. How's everybody doing tonight? Okay, come on. Y'all got to give me a little better than that. How's everybody doing tonight? Okay. I know we've still got folks arriving. It's Atlanta, it's traffic, whatnot. But we're going to go ahead and get started. I just wanted to say welcome to Circles Cobb graduation. And we're so excited that you're here. We're also so grateful to North Metro Church for hosting us in this amazing space. Thank you, North Metro Church. Also wanted to give a shout out to Bokoba Catering. If you haven't already had their food, you're in for a treat. We've got an awesome taco bar for y'all in just a second. A little housekeeping, bathrooms. Everybody wants to know that, right? If you're not familiar with the church, you'll go out the main doors, take a right. Just a short jog down that hall by the water fountain, you'll see men and women's bathrooms there. Also, if you haven't already, if I could ask you to please silence your phone throughout the program, that would be amazing. And I'd like to introduce to you Daniel Hicks. He's the Barrett campus pastor for North Metro Church. And he's going to come and bless our meal for us.
All right, you guys ready to eat? Thank y'all for being here. I'm going to say a quick prayer, blessing over our food. Who's already eaten? Did you pray for your food? You lying? You in church, girl. This morning you prayed for this meal? Okay. Hey, did y'all pray for who else ate? Everybody else? All right, just try to see. Just try to see. All right, I'm going to bless your food and everybody else's food. So y'all pray with me. Father, we love you. Thank you for family. Thank you for friends. Thank you for laughter. Thank you for an event like this where we can come together and just eat some great food and celebrate life changes and what you've been doing. Thank you for Circles and their ministry. Thank you for Barbara and her staff and all the faithful work that they do just to bless people and love people, to lift people up. And so, God, for the 7 graduates today, for their families, Lord, we celebrate them. We just thank you for their life, what you're doing in their life. We pray blessings upon blessings upon blessings upon them, their family, and their beautiful future ahead for them, Lord. Well, I believe you have great things in store for them. And God, I know you have great things in store for this night. So, God, bless this food. May it nourish our body and just strengthen us to do what you've asked us to do. And again, thank you for being our good God and King and loving us and pursuing us and just bestowing all these great blessings upon us tonight. We love you. We thank you. It's in your beautiful and holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor Daniel. Okay, so if we could, I want to give our graduates and their families an opportunity to eat first. So if y'all would like to go ahead and make your way to the meal station, please do. And we can just give them a little opportunity to do that, and then everybody else can follow in behind. And we've got 2 stations set up for your convenience in the back, all right? And while you're eating, I just wanted to say this. We are all about building community to end poverty. So a big part of that, of course, is the building community part. And it's tough to do if you don't know the people around you, if you don't know the people at your table. So we've tried to make it as easy as possible, and we have some conversation starters at each of the tables. So if you're sitting there and you're a little bit at a loss, you maybe don't know the people, I know y'all got this covered. But if you don't, grab those conversation starters and just start. Ask a couple questions, get to know the folks around you, okay? All right, graduates, y'all go ahead and eat, okay? All right, we've got a great night in store for you. If you are graciously waiting on graduates to get their meals, I think they have. So if you haven't already, please go ahead and grab some tacos, okay? Good evening. Welcome. This is making my heart so happy, looking out and seeing so many amazing friends, family. It's just a heart-fulfilling moment. My name is Barbara Garner, and I'm the executive director, have the honor of being the executive director of Circles Cobb. And welcome to graduation. We're so happy you're here, and so happy that you battled traffic to get here. Is that different from any other day? Maybe a little bit. So if you have ever joined us at a Circles meeting, a regular weekly meeting, you know we begin each gathering with something that we call new and good. And it's just like it sounds. It's one thing that's both new and good. So my new and good this evening is you, this beautiful community of people. Because what I see here is so much more than a gathering. It's community with purpose. And tonight we get to celebrate what makes this community possible. And for those who are new to Circles, I want to take just a minute and tell you a little bit about what it is that we do. Circles Cobb is part of a national movement to end poverty through intentional friendships, personal transformation, and systemic change led by the people closest to the challenge. Each year, we welcome a cohort of participants we call circle leaders. And that name is really important. They're not just participating, they are leaders, and they're leading their families. They're leading their futures, and they're leading their journey forward. And this is urgent work. If you don't know, if you haven't heard, right here in Cobb County, 37% of households cannot afford basic necessity. 37% in Cobb County. The wealthy county, 37%, y'all. That's not okay. And Metro Atlanta is ranked 50th out of the top 50 U.S. metro areas for economic mobility. Last. That means it's harder here than anywhere else in the entire country for someone born into poverty to move out of it. That's not okay. We have work to do. But here's what we know. Research shows us that one of the most powerful predictors of upward mobility is not just income, that's important, but it's social capital. You might hear that phrase a lot. What in the world is social capital? It's relationships, it's access, it's having people in your corner who open doors, share knowledge, and walk alongside you, because no one rises alone. And if you're a part of Circles already, that probably sounds familiar. That's exactly what Circles is designed to build: community, connection, and the kind of support that changes what's possible. And national and local data prove what we already know: the Circles model works, and the results are remarkable. The people that you're sitting at the tables with, they're remarkable. Our first cohort of circle leaders, and many of them are here tonight, they have already achieved a 94% average increase in income in just over 2 years. %, that's amazing. That's unheard of. And cohort 2, in just over a year, they've already increased their income by 22%. And the graduates here tonight, cohort 3, in just over 3 months, so just a minute, they've already increased their income by 8% on average. Yes. So this is real progress. This is lasting change. This is the power of circles. That's why this community exists, and it takes all of us. It takes everyone in this room. So I would like to take a moment to recognize all of the people in this room. First and foremost, we always say circle leaders are the star of the show, always. It's all about them. So for our circle leaders, for Cohort 3 graduates, along with Cohort 1 and Cohort 2 who are here to support them, would you please stand? Your commitment, your courage, your perseverance are what this night is all about. And we are so proud of each of you. So proud. Thank you. For our allies, doesn't matter what cohort, any ally in the room, would you please stand? Allies are the volunteers who walk alongside circle leaders every step of the way, offering encouragement, accountability, and connections. Thank you all for building these meaningful friendships and doing the essential work of supporting families as they make lasting change. Thank you. To our board members, and so many of you are here tonight. We're so lucky to have such an amazing board. Would you please stand? This devoted group meets monthly to advise, plan, and serve. And if anybody was paying attention, we even have board members who do double duty as allies because they love circles that much. How about that? Thank you for your leadership, your guidance, and your belief in what we are building together. Nonprofit and faith partners. Y'all, we do not do this work alone. There are so many other nonprofits, churches who do this work with us. Would you please stand? And I've seen some of you in the room, so don't be shy. Please stand so we can thank you. Thank you for walking alongside us. We are better together. And your partnership allows us to surround families with the support, the resources, and the opportunities they need to move forward. And you've demonstrated that in so many ways. Thank you. To our donors and sponsors, would you please stand? Come on, don't be shy. Yes, thank you. Thank you to all of our sponsors, especially Cobb Community Foundation for sponsoring this event tonight. And North Metro Church, they are one of our program sponsors, and they've been so generous with this beautiful space. Thank you. And so many others for making this work possible. Because of your investment, families are making real, measurable, and lasting change, transforming the trajectory of the next generation. Thank you. Okay, to our volunteers. There's other volunteers, event volunteers who come and do the balloon arches, who play with kids, child care folks every week, support behind the scenes. Would you please stand? I know there's more than that. Your time, energy, and kindness are invaluable, and we are just so grateful for you. Thank you. Okay, last but certainly not least is the Circles Cobb team that I serve with. Would you please stand so we can honor you? I can tell you with absolute certainty, this is a labor of love for each of them. We are honored to be in community with each of you, and I'm deeply grateful to be surrounded by such a caring and talented team. Thank you. So this is what it looks like to build a community that creates change. all of us, showing up, building friendships, and moving forward together. And tonight, we celebrate that. Because when people come together, barriers begin to break, opportunities begin to grow, and futures begin to change. And every person in this room tonight is a change maker. So at this time, I would like to invite our graduates, along with their training facilitator, Harley Goronsky, to come to the stage. And ladies, we have watched you show up faithfully, week after week after week, with grit and determination. You've faced challenges and you kept going. You've set goals and you've taken meaningful steps forward. Come on up. Your journey is still unfolding, but you're not the same people who walked through those doors on day one. You are stronger, more confident, and you're already changing your story. Tonight, we pause to recognize their progress because it takes courage to begin and even more to keep going. It also takes a whole lot of courage to get up on this stage. So can we give them like a resounding round of applause? Here's another, just an extra mic. Anybody? Here we go. All right, and I'm gonna move this out of the way. All right, take it away, Harley.
Good evening, everyone. How's everybody doing today? Nope, let's do it again. How's everybody doing today? Thank you, so much better. So my name is Harley. I don't belong on the stage. Let's just get one thing clear. This is about them. But I had the amazing honor of walking through this journey with these ladies for the past, 4 months or so. And watching what they have accomplished. It's been more than 4 months, Katrina. I see you trying to do the math. Oh my gosh, there's always one. But so I've had the opportunity to watch them walk through this journey, begin this journey, be confused about the journey at times. And we had some amazing, amazing conversations. Great things are taking place, have taken place. And so I'm here to just kind of share these young ladies with you because what they have, where they're going, it's absolutely special. And so Yaz, the young lady sitting at the end, is going to facilitate some conversations amongst themselves. And so Yaz, take it away.
Good evening, everyone. So our first question is, what brought us to Circles? And so I guess I'll start by answering the question. A lady named Kim Hardy in the community that I live in, she helps with my teens, and we were having some conversation, and she said that she thinks this would be beneficial for me. What this was, I had no idea, but she told me to fill out the application. I hesitated, and then I think I got it done the night before it was due. Did the interview, I'm just being honest. I did the interview, and they basically called me back and said, we want you to be a part of this program. The second part of that question was what were you going through in life at that time? And I had recently relocated from Washington State to Georgia, just me and 3 kids. And I had started over. Basically, there was nothing. And I needed a support system, but I didn't know that I needed one. And it came at a pivotal time to where it was I was trying to figure out what was next for me. Raising the kids, trying to work, trying to find a safe place for us to stay, find friends to be able to go and build life with. And yeah, I started Circles. I decided to commit to 2 years, which in essence sounded like a really long time, but I'm grateful. We're months into this journey and I wouldn't go backwards. So I'm gonna pass it over to Lakeisha.
Um, I was new to the area and I thought I was signing up for a financial class, I'm gonna be honest. Um, and I was just working from home in the house, isolated, and just needed to get out. And I didn't know what the program was about again. I thought I was signing up to learn about 401ks and buying a house, you know, but it was a little deeper than that. Um, Everyone was talking about their problems and things they were going through, and I'm just like, I'm not gonna tell y'all my business. But I did. And, I did learn a little on the way with my allies, James is in finances, Kathy, she got grandkids, I have kids, so who have not, why not have Kathy help me with my kids? So that's why I end up staying in it. I definitely did learn a lot about my finances, that I was spending money monthly that I did not need to be. So that money is being well put up now. And every now and again, I do be like, hey, I'm not going to stay in this program. But they find a way to reel me back in every Tuesday, and I've been here ever since. The ladies are wonderful. Harley, no, I'm just playing. But yeah, that's why I decided to stay.
When I started Circles, I had just started a new phase in my life. Me and my husband had separated, and it was just me and my 2 kids moving into a new apartment from a house that we had just sold and just starting a whole new journey. And I knew I needed help. I knew I needed support, but I didn't know what that looked like. I've always been very independent, very on my own, always trying to do it all by myself. So when I joined Circles, I received help that I didn't even know that I needed. It's been coming from every which way. It's been a lot. And I just appreciate everybody who's a part of it, because it's really starting to change my life. My mindset has shifted. What I thought were dreams or unattainable dreams are now become like something I'm actually pursuing with the help of my allies, and it's been an amazing journey.
Okay, so where was I when Circles found me? Just to start, yes, Harley, I'm gonna do it. Just to start, I honestly had a great life. It's not the average life, but a lot of kids, they're graduating. But most of my life has been wrapped around my kids, my family, my husband, their sports, everything going on with them. So 3 years ago, I started focusing a little bit on myself. I got my GED. I did some things now I'm a college student. And so when Circles found me, in retrospect, I thought I was doing okay. I have a, pretty good community from volunteering and stuff. So in retrospect, I'm like, I'm good. But I had spoke at something, and Barbara was there, and she went to my director at my job and was like, hey, I think she would be great for my program. It's like, my director called me in the office. I thought I was in trouble. She was like, hey, they want you for the program. If you're interested, I'm not sure what it's about. And I was like, you know what, at this point, if God's saying this is what you should do, I'm gonna sign up. Very much like Yasmin, I did the application on the last day. So I was like, okay, if he get it, if God want me to do it, I'm gonna do it. Waited, didn't hear anything. Then here comes Keelan calling and texting, talking about a meeting and an interview. I was like, oh, this is for real. So let me Google. So I Googled so I could sound like really good at the interview, right? It's like, yeah, I'm gonna link arms with everyone and make a circle. So, y'all remember that? But it was a great interview with Jennifer and Keelan, though. It really was, and it piqued my interest. So that's where I was when I started. But when we started doing the meetings and everything, we different. I don't know what everybody else's cohort has been like, but ours was wild. We can't say that up here? Oh, okay. But anyway, I won't say it yet. Okay. But long story short, what I learned, especially when it comes to finances, is that I needed it, right? I thought I was okay, but I wasn't. And one thing that I've learned from circles that's been amazing for me is it's like when you give your life to God, right? It's like everything's not gonna be perfect once you give your life to God. You're still gonna struggle, you're still gonna go through stuff, but your mindset on while you're struggling, how you look at the struggle, how you're gonna approach the struggle has changed. And that's how I feel about our finances with my husband and I. We're still gonna go through things, we're still trying to figure it out, but our mind stuff is shifting to make it better and look at things in the outlook being different. So that's how I got here.
She has one.
When I first came to circles, honestly, I had no idea what it was. I'm just being honest. But I kept showing up. I kept coming, even when life was hard. And I'm glad I did, because now I have community. I've never had support ever in my life without trying to prove who I am to family members, friends, different relationships. So this is the first time in my life that I actually have community. And I'm just really, really grateful. Because of circles, I have increased my income. I got a promotion. I'm doing really good in life, and I'm very, very thankful.
Hello. Okay. So the second question that we had was, how has circles impacted your life so far? For me, it created, just like everyone up here has mentioned so far, the community. It's the support system you didn't know that you need until you get into it. So Tuesday seems like one day out of a week. It doesn't seem like a lot, but for a single parent who's trying to work, who's trying to be present for herself, for her children, it is a commitment, because it looks like taking away your free time to invest in something that would make you essentially better. And as a lot of us stated, we did not know what we were walking into. So with starting at Circles and having Harley as our trainer, I'm gonna say this as best I can, there's something about her personality that just pushes you, like it brings out the best in you.
All up in your face.
So very vibrant personality, but just the impact that she has as far as going through the material that we have to get through, she challenges you to not just be surface level, but get to the depth of who you are, why you're going through certain things, and how you can push past that. And so the impact, Harley, I appreciate you. And yes, I'm doing it different than what we anticipated, but like, you are truly a godsend. And I'm so grateful that you were our trainer throughout this time. Because of that, I got a better position, making a lot more money than when I entered Circles. The stability I knew how to budget. I knew all of the things coming into Circles, but actually sticking to it and being held accountable was what I struggled with. And this is your accountability right here. So I am creating habits and instilling habits in my children that we could use past the 2 years that will be a part of this program. And so with that, I'm gonna pass it to Crystal.
Okay, I did it a little different, guys. I have a speech, so it's the answer to the question, but if y'all want me to talk. Before I joined Circles, I felt like I was carrying the entire weight of the world on my own. I truly believed I was the only person going through these specific hardships and facing these obstacles. But the very first thing Circles gave me was the realization that I wasn't alone. Building those relationships with my fellow circle leaders from the very beginning changed everything for me. It showed me that my struggles didn't define me and I didn't have to face them alone. As time went on, we were blessed with resources that did so much more than just get us by. They helped us truly live. For a mother of 5 and a grandmother of 2, finding a village is a miracle. My kids and I now see Tuesday nights as the absolute best part of our entire week. Because let me tell you, Tuesdays are very hard for me. From the childcare that gives me peace of mind to the dinners that provided by our incredible sponsors, those nights have become a sanctuary for us. I especially want to mention the Christmas program. As a mother, that time of year can bring so much heavy lifting and worry, but because of Circles, that weight was taken off of my shoulders. Being able to see the smiles on my children's faces on Christmas morning was a priceless gift that I'll never forget. It wasn't just about the gifts, it was about the continuous support that Circles provides on a regular basis. But the heart of this journey has been the relationships I'm building with my allies, Teresa, Warren, and Franca. I've been blessed with 3 amazing people who are caring, strong, and truly admirable. What started as a partnership has grown into a bond for a lifetime. I don't just see you as mentors, I consider you family. Thank you for supporting me constantly and walking beside me on this journey. To Ms. Barbara Keelan, Harley, Krista, the Circle staff, and all of our sponsors, you've brought a joy and a peace to my life that I never imagined I would see in such a short time. To my fellow Circle leaders, I'm so excited to continue this journey with you. I didn't just find a program, I finally found my village. Thank you for impacting my life in such a positive way.
Okay, so I just wanted to, because it has been mentioned a few times, but I just wanted to ask you ladies to maybe share your experience with, well, first of all, when Yaz came into the group, this was something so out of her comfort zone. Like every time she opened her mouth, she was like, I'm pushing myself to say this. Like this was something completely out of her comfort zone. And to see her on stage today, facilitating the graduation, I think that warrants a round of applause. Crystal, you mentioned that this is the best part of your week. I want you ladies to talk a little bit about what it means for you to come to Circles every week and bringing your kids and your kids watching what you're doing.
For me, it's like you said, is the best part of my week. I work Monday through Friday, and I work with individuals with mental illness. So I'm talking and constantly just a back and forth, and don't always have time to just take a breath for myself. So when I walk through those doors, and just to have someone at the door greeting me, and for my kids to be greeted. When you touch my kid's heart, you touch my heart. So that right there was, the first thing that was just like, okay. And just, all the way through to the dinners and up to the time that we sit down. And I'm not a big talker. I prefer, like I said, I talk all day. So by the end of my day, I like to just kind of listen and take it all in. But just to hear the other ladies speak and just, to have just those opportunities. I think when we were in the room, Yaz, you and I, and we just had that few minutes of just talking and connecting and just knowing that we're not in it alone. So I really look forward to those Tuesdays. And there's nights that I'm just like beyond tired. And it's like, if I just get there, if I could just get there, just And it makes such a difference. It's, just that little few minutes where my kids can be off in a place, where they're safe, and I'm knowing that they're being taken care of, and they're not just being babysat, but, they're being loved on. To me, that's really made a huge difference. I've taken on my 3 grandkids in the midst of all this unexpectedly. So, no one said any extra questions. It was just, they just took them in, and, and they ask every Tuesday, like, are we going to go to your class? And my grandson, he tells his teachers and stuff about the program, and, how at his class, and, just how he eats. He loves to eat, so that's, he's a 3-year-old little boy. But, just the joy that he gets, just the little things. And it takes a day off of me where I'm not having to cook as well, so, yeah.
To piggyback off of Kim a little bit for the Tuesday nights. So my youngest 2 actually enjoy coming on Tuesdays. That's the day of the week that they actually remember, if nothing else. My 9-year-old, he is excited in the morning, like, Mom, are we going to circles today? So if we ever don't have circles, he's disappointed. And so I try to wait to tell him until he's out of school. But I remember how Kim was saying, like, sometimes you just need like a moment to yourself. And I remember there was one week that I did not bring him on purpose because of the car ride. I needed mental time on the car ride. And the guilt that I felt when I got back home after circles and he asked, Mom, where did you go? And I didn't lie to him. I was just like, Mommy went to a meeting. And he said, did you go to circles without me? And after that, like, I just was like, you know what? I'm not going to do that to him anymore because the program is that important to them as well. My 13-year-old, he looks forward to going. They play in the gym. They teach them things. So they're instilling things in them as well as us that they want to talk about when we're riding back home afterwards. And so I just felt that was important to mention. And the fact that we don't have to cook on Tuesdays because they feed us. So that's also a good thing. Yeah, and they send us home with food as well. So, those are things that are small to some people, but they're big to us because it's an extra load off.
So I remember when I first started, I quit like the first 3 Tuesdays. Every Tuesday I was quitting. And then the 4th Tuesday came and I was not going. And my 7-year-old comes in from her after school program and I'm laid across the couch. And she's like, Mom, we're not going to circles. I'm just like, no, I quit. She said, Mom, you're just lazy. She said, you never want to go to circles. And I'm like, Peyton, like, it's just not for me. Mommy don't want to go. So about 2 minutes, she's in her room. She come back. Mom, we're not going to circles. I'm like, just put your shoes on and come on. So she's definitely my alarm clock on Tuesdays to get me here.
Okay, so there was a time, kind of like Yasmin's story, where I was rushing, and I had to leave before my son even realized that I was gone. He was somewhere else, I think at the park or something, and I came to circles without him. And I felt guilty. I felt like I had wronged him, but I couldn't wait for him because I had to get to my Tuesday meeting. So when I got back home, he was like, Mom, you went without me? And I'm like, yeah, I kind of did. I'm sorry. But it just goes to show how much he likes the program just as much as I do. And they teach him art. He's very artsy. He's very creative. He gets along with anybody anyway, but he loves the kids. They're always playing, and it's just a nice outlet outside of working, paying bills, repeat, working, paying bills, repeat, that kind of thing. So I really am grateful for our Tuesdays. and the time that's shared with the kids as well.
I know when we get there, Harley used to say a lot that this is our time. And of course, making sure our kids are safe, making sure that they're well fed, making sure that they're taken care of is a big deal. But I really love that there is an opportunity for me because we're as mothers, we're always making sure the kids are okay. We're always thinking about them, always want to make sure that they're getting what they need. So it was really nice to just be able to take some time for us to think about who we want to be and what we want to be for our kids. So I think that was probably one of the biggest rewards for me is that it wasn't just, I was able to focus on myself, focus on, and actually just take some time to think about what it is that I really want and have a support system to help me accomplish that.
I remember that because I think it was either the training session when we were working on SMART goals or maybe might have even been the dream boards, but I kept encouraging the ladies. I'm like, what do you like? Nothing is off the table. Whatever you want to do, whatever that goal is, put it down. Even if you think it's not remotely possible, I want you to think about it. And they were like, and I specifically remember looking at Katrina and Crystal, and they were just like, I don't think I can do that. And we're like, well, I told them, I said, this is exactly the time you want to do this. This is a time for you to do it. And I think it's Katrina now, you have picked up your own business, something that that wasn't even on the table when we first started Circles. So you want to tell them a little bit about that?
I've been self-employed for 5 years, but it wasn't anything that I was like growing a business. That sounds daunting. That sounds hard. That sounds managing people. What's that? Nope. I'll just do my little work and I'll make sure I'm okay and make sure the kids are okay. But now I'm excited about growing my business. I'm excited about scaling. I'm also in the ACE program, so like that's just a new word. First of all, scaling. Growing a business and scaling, I just learned are two different things. And I was like, wow. I'm excited, and it doesn't feel daunting. It feels like a dream that I can accomplish, and it's not even a dream I can accomplish. I will accomplish that dream. I know I will.
Okay, the last question that I have for us is, what goals are you excited to pursue with the support of your allies and the Circles community? For me, I think the biggest thing would be building a foundation that I can sustain. So like Katrina, building a business from scratch is not something you really want to think about. It's a lot, but I have been a licensed real estate agent for 8 years now. And so relocating, you have to start all the way from scratch. And I know with the support of my allies that I would be able to build that. I feel like networking as well. So one thing, and this is like a little personal note, is that the same way that I was afraid to speak when I first started on Circles on Tuesdays, it was instilled in me when I was young. And one of the trainings that we did was on trauma, generational trauma. And I remember I've went to counseling so much, I couldn't even tell you guys how long them people see me. But, you work through things, but then you get to a place in your life where you're actually ready to receive and do the work. And I feel like being supported in a group like this, I would never be able to say that I had female friends. And then on Tuesdays, we had to get so personal with each other that they became not only like friends, but like sisters. And so that friendship in itself shifted my view on the relationship with other women. They're not sneaky, they're not conniving, they're not trying to one-off you. We all are trying to reach a common goal. and it's okay to support each other. There's enough resources for everybody. And so just going through this journey, I feel like the biggest thing would be the mindset shift that happened and being able to grow on top of that and just continue to become the woman that I'm supposed to be.
So the goal that I'm excited about accomplishing with my allies, who they're great, Marsha and Todd, stand up. No, you don't have to, I'm just joking. But no, I was matched perfectly, and I am so appreciative of that. They get my humor, and I get theirs. And me and Marsha do our basketball thing, talk together. So, but I am excited about just them helping my family towards home ownership. Just that whole process to me is like a foreign language. And so just being able to talk to two people that has knowledge in the area, not just of home ownership, but just financial literacy and things like that. It's just been so good. So many great conversations. Todd gave me a book about as thick as this microphone. I'm not kidding. It's from like 1970, but it's like thick. But it's like, is there a Kindle version? But anyways, it's a lot of information in that book. But that's just how much he wants to pour into me and my dreams and my family's dreams of owning a home and stop being renters and getting our own one day. So that's what our big goal is and what I'm excited about. You want me to rap? No. So I feel like the goals me and my allies are going to accomplish is me learning financial literacy and building financial stability for my girls. Right now, that's all I feel like that I want to accomplish. I feel like I've wasted enough money in my 21 years on this earth. Did I interrupt you? That, my oldest is going to be going to college soon. And while I do have a little saved, I just want to make sure that she has the financial stability to do things that she wants to do going forward.
Like I said, by far the biggest goal that I'm excited about pursuing is scaling my business. Like I said, I'm in the ACE program, and they gave us this book, and it was like 80 steps, and I was like, I'm an executor, so it's like, I'm gonna do a little bit of this, I was all over the place. And Natasha, my ally, was like, you know what? Let's have a conversation. Let's decide what we're going to focus on. And so we started talking about who I am, my brand, my business identity, things like that. And I realized I didn't really know what that was exactly. And so we started talking about focusing on those goals. And so now I actually have 5 things that I'm supposed to be focusing on. I have a deadline to get those things done. Like, my goals are actually SMART, because that was another thing. I was like, I got goals, but how do you make those goals SMART? How do you know how long is long enough? That kind of thing. So when I accomplish goals, it's always been someone else telling me, this is how long it needs to take. This is how long it needs to be. This is what it should look like. So just being able to work through that with my allies has been great. Tyler came over my house today and moved some furniture. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's just little things like that. It's the big things. It's the little things. It's all the things that have made this an exciting process, but definitely scaling that business. I'm very excited about that.
Can I say something really quick? It's me. They cut our mic off. Oh.
You got cut off.
Harley, seriously, we are thankful to you. I don't think this group would have made it with anyone besides someone with your personality.
Yes.
Seriously, because you match our energy.
Yes.
We barely got out at 8:15 every week. But we got through the stuff. We circled back. You were the perfect person for every person in this group. And when you broke up with us that day, it like broke us because we didn't know. But we are so thankful and appreciative of the time that you spent, even while you were going through your own things. You were still there for us, and we really appreciate you. So thank you.
We're done. That's it. Drop the mic. No, don't drop the mic. But we're going to pass it over to Barbara now. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, ladies, so much. Can we give them a big, big round? I heard so much there. We talk a lot about mind shifts, talk a lot about having the space to really focus on yourself and your situation and your life goals. 4 of these ladies have new and better paying jobs since they started Circles. Absolutely. And Katrina, really pouring into your business. I mean, big things are happening, and they got started in September. This is a celebration of them completing their training. So in that short amount of time, to have that kind of progress is huge. And it's possible because of you. Ladies, y'all are amazing, and we can't wait to see where you go. Can't wait. All right, now for the next segment of our program, it is my honor to introduce our commencement speaker, Dr. Doretta Rhodes. Dr. Rhodes is going into her 8th season with the Atlanta Braves as the Executive Vice President and Chief People and Culture Officer. Say that fast 3 times. That's a title. She received her undergrad degree from UGA, her MBA from Clark Atlanta University, and her PhD in adult education from, again, UGA, go Dogs. Dr. Rhodes serves the Metro Atlanta community in various leadership roles, such as executive board member of the Atlanta Braves Foundation. We need to talk. Vice President and Secretary of the International Women's Foundation, and trustee member and governing board member of the Woodruff Arts Center, to name a few. She completed a TED Talk in 2018 and has been recognized with so many honors, most recently, and we were there to celebrate with her, the 2026 Live Save Tribute to Women of Achievement. She's a wife, a mother, and the author of Courage of Voice, Empowering Women to Open Professional Doors. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Doretta Rhodes. Thank you. You're so welcome. There's your mic.
Good evening, everyone. I'm going to move this to the side. I'm a walker, and I don't want to fall and trip. That would be interesting. Every time I have an opportunity to do this, first of all, let me say this. I am very blessed to be in front of you all. I hear my bio often, and I don't necessarily know who that person is. And I will tell you, my sons keep me humbled from the fact that they remind me who I really am when they ask for how much money they can get from their ATM machine. So I am oftentimes reminded of who I am, but I will tell you one of the things that is really important is that I have never been my title. Of any of the titles that I've had, I've never been my title. It is amazing to me, the women that were on this stage. And I'm gonna give you all a very special message in a moment. I wanna start with connections. Let's talk about Harley. Holly and I met each other 2010. Harley met me probably at the moment with which I was at the darkest place in my life, and she probably didn't even know it. I was going through a divorce. I had 2 sons that were young, 8 and 10 at the time, and I was trying really hard to figure it out. And the importance of connection, I did not understand. I didn't tell anybody about what I was going through. What I would do is that I would get into my car. I lived in Sewanee at the time. I would get in my car because I put all of my jewelry in a tackle box in my car. There's another story behind that. So I put all my jewelry in a tackle box. I'd get in my car. I'd drive from Sewanee to Turner Broadcasting. I would cry all the way there. I would stop crying once I got there, put my makeup on, because you can imagine it would have been a mess if I had cried with my makeup on from Sewanee to all the way to CNN. I put my makeup on, and then I figured out what jewelry I was going to wear in my tackle box. And I put on this mask. And I walked in every single day going through that particular journey and did not tell anybody. Didn't feel like I had the connections, didn't feel safe or comfortable to do so. But the fact of the matter, and it's so interesting as I have done this journey that each of us are doing, that's life, that was one of those pieces that was a tapestry for me. And I did not understand what it meant to have connections. I remember after I went through everything, I did not announce, of course, my new name, which went back to my maiden name. But you know, one of those things, you got to change your email. So my email changed. It was 6 months after my divorce. I'm going into a meeting with one of the executives that I supported at the time. And John said, "Hey, I saw your name change. Congratulations, you got married." I said, "No, congratulations, I got divorced." Now, let me say this. I believe in marriage, clearly. I got remarried. But it was hard for me to have that conversation. And John turned to me and he said, "I wish you had told me. We would have supported you." And that's what happens when we miss the opportunity of connection. When I think about it now, I had the opportunity, I spoke at an event that Barbara saw me. And we ended up speaking and had a great conversation, talked to her on the phone. I actually almost stood her up for lunch. And she was gracious enough to still wait for me and let me come back to sit down with her because I had gotten the time wrong, something I oftentimes do. That's why you need grace. We sat down and had an amazing conversation and created a connection there. It came from a conversation where I met her. There's another woman that's in the audience that I know very well by the name of Ann. Raise your hand, Ann. Another connection, and she and I are colleagues, but became friends as well. Had I kept myself closed from the time with which I got my divorce to today, I would not have had these amazing women that are a part of my network. Some of it has to do is that I probably lost some of the pride I had with this conversation around shame. And that's what I walked around with. I walked around with shame. I didn't want anybody to know that I was divorced with 2 sons as a Black female working in the works and the jobs that I was in. So it was 2 things. It was shame and it was fear. And I think once I got past that there were people that were part of my community, it was easier to begin to have those conversations and not have the shame. And so I was able to actually strip myself of what that is. And I think when we talk about connection, and you all witnessed it with these women that were graduates on this stage. The other thing I want to talk about is commitment. I hear that you all were here every Tuesday. I heard one didn't want to come. Raise your hand. Where you at? That your daughter had to get you, 7-year-old, out of the mouth of babes, got you here. But when you look at where you are today, Aren't you grateful? It's about commitment. And in that commitment of things that we do, there's another word that we don't often put alongside it is endurance. So when you think about commitment and you think about those things, and commitment is driving to a meeting on a Tuesday. Commitment is getting up and just making sure you do what you have to for your kids. Commitment is sometimes not even thinking about you're doing it, but you're doing it anyway. And alongside that, there's something that is making you continue to go on, and that is the endurance of what that race is. I remember when I went back to get my doctorate, and it's funny, the reason I did that, I tell people all the time, I did not do it so you call me, at the time it was Dr. Cole, then it became Dr. Rhodes. That's not why I did it. I did it because it felt like I had to prove myself when I walked in specific rooms. And so I started down this journey, and I'll never forget, I was in a class, I had gone through a divorce. I had a professor say to me, "You're not committed to this." So I drove, now I'm driving from Athens to Swanee, working a full-time job with children, and it was the hardest drive home. Again, cried all the way. When I got home, I literally got into my bed with my clothes and my shoes on, and I put my cover up to here. My youngest son comes in. He says, "Mom, what's wrong with you?" I said, "It's been a day." "Well, it must have been a day. You don't let us wear our shoes in the bed." So I had to change that and get up and change. But I remember going through that, and I remember at the time, because my grandmother was somebody that was very close to me, and I had lost her during this process. And I remember her saying to me, as I was driving home and I was being told that I was not committed to this program, my grandmother would say to me all the time, "What people say about you, it's none of your business. Get up and do what you need to do." And that's what I did. But let me tell you the most gratifying moment of that. So I went through the process. I won't tell you how many years it took me to finish. That's a whole other story. But I do get to the point where I graduate. I'm at graduation, University of Georgia, hood on my arm. And my professor, my major professor, who was over my committee, who had said to me, "This is going to change your life." And I'm like, "Are you kidding me? It's classes." But she was right. She couldn't be there. She was headed to Africa and couldn't hood me. So I stand in line. I'm very excited. I'm here like this. And the professor that told me I would not graduate had to hood me. To me, that was a full circle moment. But it also goes hand in hand with commitment and endurance. I could have made a very different decision the night that he told me that. And I could have done something detrimental to myself because it was important to me. And it was something that I wanted to be able to prove to both my grandparent, my grandmother, and my sons, to be able to watch that experience. And I am thankful that he made me mad enough to get up the next day and to continue. The last thing that I want to leave you all with is courage. Courage is defined of doing something even if you fear it. I remember listening to Joyce Myers, and one of the things that she talked about is do it through fear. I'm not quoting it exactly, so please give me a little liberties on that. But I remember a conversation that she said, if you're afraid, do it anyway. For those of you graduates that were afraid, and I did not hear fear in anybody, but if that was something that was in you during that, you did it anyway. And that's what courage is. Courage is having those conversations you don't want to have, but you have to, bless you, anyway. I have a mentor who's still a mentor of mine, and I was working in a role, and it probably is one of the hardest jobs I've ever had. And we were talking about the fact that I just felt battle fatigued with what I was going through. It was a brand new position. I felt like I was failing at every given moment. I met with him, and I said to him, I'm battle fatigued. I'm having these difficult conversations with people. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to listen to it. And he looked at me and he said, you're the right person at the right time for this right now. And I'm like, I don't understand what you're talking about, but okay. The other thing he said to me that resonated with me is that bad information and bad messages do not get better with time. So, thank you. So, you need to walk through it and do it and get to the other side. All of us have had that situation, that circumstance, all of those things that oftentimes makes us in fear, paralyzed. What am I going to do? How am I going to do this? What makes sense for me? But I can guarantee you, you walk on the other side of it, you look back on it, and you're grateful that you went through that experience. This is my message to the graduates. I am so proud to be able to stand on the very same stage that you all stood on, because what you have done has not only shown us the understanding of commitment, the understanding of connection, but it is very much the place of courage. So if we do nothing else, can we please give the graduates a round of applause? There's one thing I want to leave you all with. One of the things that I always give to individuals that have either worked with me or been a part of my teams before, I give them the Dr. Seuss book, Oh, the Places You Will Go. I need for our graduates to have us walk behind them and support them and watch them in Oh, the Places You Will Go. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Doretta. What a phenomenal lady. So happy that we met. And I also love her love of mentorship. Not only does she have a mentor, she mentors many folks, and one of our circle leaders, actually. And that was another connection by chance, wasn't it? All right, as we move into celebrating our graduates and getting their certifications, I'd like to take a moment to recognize an important part of the Circles journey that we haven't really talked about yet, our coaches. In addition to the support of allies, which is so critical and so beneficial, each circle leader is paired with a coach who meets with them regularly, walking alongside them, celebrating progress, and helping to identify and navigate any barriers that happen along the way. And they happen, right? Because that's life. That's what happens. They lead our weekly meetings and are an integral part of the Circles journey. We are grateful for our two incredible coaches, Keelan Mitchell and Jennifer Beard. If y'all would come on up and join me. Aren't y'all ready to hear from somebody else?
Good evening. We have now come to the part of this celebration where we will have our cohort 3 circle leaders be recognized for graduating from the 12-week program. So let's give them another round of applause, please. And I'm going to ask you ladies, as we call your name, to please enter from this side of the stage where we will have your certificate. We will take a brief photo and then you'll remain here on the stage. So the first person that I call, you'll stand right there in front of that last chair. Everybody clear? Okay, oops, did I do that? Okay, did I do that? All right, so congratulations to our cohort 3 graduates. Akia Anderson. Hugs all the way around. All right, you're standing right here. Akia. We got to stand right here. There's a lady taking a photo there. Okay. All right. Crystal Lampkin. We're not in alphabetical order, so you just got to be ready. Oh, bring your caps. Yeah, you don't have to put them on yet. Who's next? Katrina Stiles. Kim Tucker. Hatria Brown. Lakeisha Wilson.
Oh, wait, one more.
And Yasmin Howell. Ladies and gentlemen, your Circles Cobb Cohort 3 graduates.
All right. You are free to go. Great job, ladies. Can you tell we don't have a bit of fun on Tuesday night? Oh, my goodness gracious. All right. As we move to the close of our evening, let's talk about what's next for Circles Cobb. Many of you in this room, as we've already demonstrated, are already part of this work. You've given your time, you've given your resources. Thank you for helping us make this work possible. What you've seen and heard tonight is happening because of you. But as we've also shared, the need is great. And the opportunity to grow this impact is right in front of us, to reach more families, to expand this work, and to build the kind of support that lasts. We need consistency. And not that extra mic. Sustainable, dependable support that allows us to plan, to grow, and to serve even more families well. That's where the Luminary Circle comes in. The Luminary Circle is a community committed not just to supporting this work, but to sustaining and growing it. It's made up of individuals choosing to invest in Circles Cobb, and in our county, and in our families on a recurring basis because they believe in our work and they want to light the path for even more families. And before we invite others to join, we want to recognize those who are already leading the way. If you are a current donor or sponsor, you received a pin this evening. At this time, I'd love it if you would turn it on. There's a little button on the back. Yep, I see some folks got it. It can blink blue. It can just light up blue. Aren't they cool? And if you're comfortable, would you stand? Thank you so much. These folks are already lighting the way. Join the Luminary Circle and change the story for Cobb families through a monthly gift, an amount of your choice, $25, $50, $100, or more if you're able. Become a steady light that ensures this work reaches even more families, because no one rises alone. No one. So joining the Luminary Circle is as easy as scanning the QR code. They're on every table. There it is, on the screen, and choosing the amount that you would like to invest. Thank you for everything you've already done and for considering what's next. Thank you for walking alongside us in this work. We are better together, and your partnerships allow us to surround families with the support, the resources, and the opportunities they need to move forward. Thank you. At this time, I would love to invite Andy Starnes, our board chair, to come up and close us out. There he is. All right.
Thank you, Barbara. As she said, I'm Andy Starnes. I'm our board chair, and I will say it's quite humbling to get up here after the 7 graduates and Dr. Rhodes. It's hard to follow that. What an amazing night! Wow. It's a lot, and it's from sitting there watching it. It's just so touching to watch, and it's so impressive what these 7 ladies have done. That's a multi-year commitment. They are putting in the hard work. They are doing it. Let's just give them another round of applause. I can also say, standing up here and looking out, I know it means a lot to them to see all the people in this room. They're here to support them and help lift them up. Barbara said it, it takes a village. It takes a community to get people to lift them up and raise them out of situations that they don't want to be in. And to see this many people who care and want to spend a Tuesday and come out and support these ladies, thank y'all so much for coming. Just thank you so much. Do want to give a thank you to North Metro Church for having us. This is a great facility. We're thankful that we get to do this. This is by far the best facility we've had to have this graduation. It's very conducive to this program, so thank you so much to the church. And finally, one person gets to stand up here and thank everyone, but really nothing happens without her being here, and that's our executive director, Barbara Gardner. She's amazing. Yeah. Nobody gets to thank Barbara. Thanks so much, Barbara. So I think y'all have seen it tonight, why Circles is so impactful and why it makes such a difference. To me, it's really 3 things. One, it's led by the participants. These ladies, they lead the program. They put in the hard work. It's not us handing them anything. They're doing the work, and they're graduating for a reason. It's because they've put in the effort. And that's meaningful and it's powerful. Second, and I don't know how many of them said it, but it was several, it's generational change. How many of them mentioned that their children are upset if they don't get to go? You're not helping a person, you're helping a family change its dynamic for generations to come. You're helping those kids learn the same financial skills that their parents are learning so they can take that forward and just change the trajectory of where they're going. And that's very powerful. And finally, multiple people said it as well, but it builds a community. And that's really important. You heard multiple of the graduates say it. They didn't have a community before, and it was around them all of a sudden. They needed that support group. They needed the accountability partners to make them show up, to want to keep pushing forward and to go forward and do better. And that community is really, really, really important. And that's why Circles is different. That's why Circles is special. That's why I feel blessed to get to serve on the board and support Barbara and these graduates in any way we can. We play a very small role, and it's fun to get to come to events like this and watch what comes out of it. That's the exciting part of it, honestly. So again, thank you all tonight for coming. We appreciate it so much. It means a lot. And Barbara, anything else from you tonight? Yep. So we would like the circle leaders and the allies from cohort 2 and 3 to stay. We're going to take some pictures up front, and if y'all could hang around, but everybody else, thank you so much for coming.